Hello guys, I'm excited. I just got in my FOXWING awning made by Rhino Rack. Awning, so it looks like it's like a army green. It's got the name labeling here. That's like a rubberized patch. Comes with all the poles that you're going to need. All the tie downs for each pole and anchors, some extra parts. These are actually the hinges of the actual wing. So I assume that if something were to happen, at least you know you can replace your hinges, which are these plastic pieces here. And this is where the arms actually swing out. Okay, let me show you the back of this awning. It's pretty basic. You got a nice big surface aluminum plate. You have these bolts that slide in and out. You get them in through one end, slide them all the way through. There's going to be two on one end, two on the other end. And what's nice is you could kind of slide them down to what position works best for your rack, or if you're just going to put them on top of your roof. It gives you a little bit more of an adjustment. But this is the only fitting they give you that comes with it, is basically this upright bracket and this plastic piece that will help you guide those bolts, because it kind of locks itself in with these ribs that it has, and that means your holes are aligned. So this will go right over here, and you can see there's one bolt down there, or an option of actually three. And just imagine this being bolted down onto your track of the top of your vehicle, or it's made to install on Rhino Rack's rack systems and crossbar members. And I'll show you here in a little bit what I came up with as a custom install for my Sprinter van. I searched the internet trying to find information on installing this FOXWING awning on a Sprinter van. So it seems that not too many Sprinter owners out there have installed one of these FOXWING awnings. It seems like the FOXWING awning, obviously, and some of their other products, they're more targeting the market of the 4Runner, the Jeeps, the smaller SUVs. Knowing that ahead of time, I called the manufacturer. Some of the issues we're going to run into on a Sprinter van is, number one, the height. These telescoping awning poles only go so high, and since mine's going to install on my roof rack, it's definitely going to be higher. Obviously, that's not going to stop me from installing this thing. I didn't want to modify the top end of the pole because it comes with this cam system, so that when you twist this top portion, it locks it down. If you turn it, it loosens it. So it was a lot easier and less complicated to modify the bottom end. What we got to do is we got to remove the original rubber boot. I ended up using a chop saw with a wood cutting blade to cut a nice squared off end. If you remove the stock foot, it looks like this. Okay, and they did that so that the actual thinner pole that's on the inside doesn't slide out from underneath here, so it's stopping it from coming out. And if you try to put this in here, it doesn't work because it's been bent. Take your chop saw and cut it off and make a nice clean cut like this. I bought some of these push pins, and I bought some extra aluminum. This is 1¼ inch aluminum, but it's a little thicker because the regular 1¼ inch had a little bit more slop in it. So this thicker actually goes on there nice and tight. What I ended up doing was adding about an extra 14 inches, and I found these rubber feet There's a rubber feet that I found that are made for 1.25" tubing, which worked out perfect. The other issue is with the FOXWING awning, as you know, it rotates around your vehicle. This end of the awning, which is the pivoting point, needs to be installed all the way to the rear end of your van. And what happens is it's only 8 feet long and our sprinters are pretty long. If I were to install this to the rear of the van, the passenger door is still exposed. I wish they made this in a 10-foot length. That would solve that problem. So what I'm going to have to do is actually install this a little bit over the passenger door so you get some shade there. As long as these two back legs here can rotate over the top of your vehicle, then we'll be okay. In my case, I have a roof rack, so it's going to have to clear the top of the rack, and I'll show you that when we're out there. Okay, so this is what I found in my local hardware store. As you can tell, this thing is beefy. It's already black. It looks like it's way stronger than the stock piece. And the best part of all is these holes already line up. Here's the install from up top. Everything went pretty easy. It's just a basic L bracket, like I showed you before. And I made sure I used some nylock nuts on the back side of these so that they don't come loose. And as you can see, it's very sturdy. Now here's the $1 million question: is how are we going to deploy this thing?